Let me switch that up right there. How y'all hear me out there? Hopefully loud and clear. Yesterday I seemed to thought that I had my audio all set up. Wasn't that from I just paused it right there for a second. I was streaming from the other audio, so I'm making sure today it's still connected to the. What about now? What about now? Tell me if my audio changed. I gotta know. What's up, guys? Jamie, can you put up to see if you hear my audio good? Put the to see because I'm not even sure if it's playing off this mic. Yesterday it was catching my audio off the camera. Better? It got better? All right, good. I think that it's connected now to my mixer. Yeah, it was all screwed up yesterday. I thought that hold up. Let me even try to throw the is that better right there? All right. And how's like the sound and shit? Better? Well, that's the same better. So what's up, guys? Man, we got a lot to talk about. I had good content in that video yesterday, and my mic quality was shit. So I don't think a lot of people went and saw it because right away you're gonna be like, damn, I'm gonna be listening through that shit. Hopefully, I got it right. Okay. Like I said, I just got my sound effects, everything back going. So speaking of which, uh, and now they are not like clicking. Wow, that's a real late. I pressed that a long time ago. So, Fight fans, thank you for tuning in here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin. Where the wall fight start? Round one. Hey, let's get it. We're working through a couple things here, but yes. So lock in, tune in. We got some things to discuss, talk about anything that's on your mind related to boxing. Let me know in your comments, and I will read your comments and we can talk boxing. So I said all that to say this. Let's get this episode started. Yo, yo, yo. Hey, uh the boxing outcome. Yo, so my audio sounds good. Sounds it doesn't sound like echoey or anything. All right. Cause I man, listen, we talked about a lot of shit there yesterday, man. And it was great. I thought it was a great video, but the audio, like I said, just shit the bed. But listen, so let's talk about it. A lot of things are moving around in boxing. Boxers are calling other boxers out and they're starting to question their, fight me type mentality. There has been a lot of boxers that have recently obtained world titles, and there's been controversies somehow in their victories and whether or not they're sound solid good. Um whether or not they're like worthy champions. Speaking of which, two in particular champions that just obtained their titles is Subriel Matias and Xander Zayes. And both of them right now, no sooner, Subriel just got awarded his belt, and Esau Pitbull Cruz was there. A lot of people are saying things about Suleiman, the WBC, and what they think should happen in Subriel Matias' next fight. Alberto Puello is making the claim exactly what I told you here at Round One Sports Talk. Exactly what I told you. What I tell you. Subriel told him, I want a rematch clause. I'm sorry. Alberto Puello told Subriel Matias, I want a rematch clause in our fight. Why? Wasn't because he was afraid of Subriel Matias. He knew how dangerous it was. But Alberto Puello wanted Subriel's name as a scalp on his resume. It would have been a great scalp. If you can beat Subriel Matias, that would, further cement Alberto Puello's resume. He already got him on the resume in a loss, but he fought him. And the thing that I said here at Round One Sports Talk, I told you guys, Alberto Puello's going to feel like he said, I'll give you a shot. If you beat me the second time we fight, I'm going to beat you, Subriel. I need to see what you about. I need to see what, all this is about. So that's exactly what Alberto Puello feels. Both fighters took to social media and they both sent out messages to each other. And I'm pretty sure that you guys seen them. They've been all over social media all day. And Subriel Matias basically was in his car driving and he needed to answer. He needed to get some shit off his chest because he's been hearing the rumors. He's been hearing what's been going on. And we clarified some of this on yesterday's show, but I like the audio was trash. So we're going to clarify some of those same things today. Subriel Matias does not work for Turki Al-Sheikh. And he doesn't fight for him. He's not technically an ambassador to Turki Al-Sheikh, right? But he's trying to get in his good graces. That's where the money's at. Let's just be honest, people. Okay? Subriel has to feed 3 little girls. He's probably going to want to put them all through college. Guess what? Each of them are going to want a car. Okay? Because you can't let your daughters grow up thinking that men have to do everything for them. Yeah, there's a man, your dad. And Subriel is thinking life after boxing. He should be. And if he's thinking life after boxing, Turkey's the way to go. That's the fight to go. Now, rumored, and I think this is a strong rumor, that he's going to be fighting on the November fight card, November 22nd, I guess, in Riyadh. And that's going to kick off with Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. There's a lot of, they started reading off that card out there. It was ridiculous. Bam Bam Rodriguez supposed to be fighting Puma. The names they do is just, and then Subriel is supposed to be fighting Dalton Smith on that card. Like the card just keeps like just getting bigger. Like the type of names, I gotta confirm all this before I start, just reporting it to you guys. Because if that shit don't happen, then it's like, round one, what the hell? I thought you said that, So I really gotta double down on my assignment before I start saying things, because the cards sound like crazy. There's this channel on YouTube, the Filósofo. I can't even pronounce his name. I'm sorry, brother. He's a Latin guy, Latin channel. He speaks in Latin, but he has a lot of good content, and I watch him sometimes. And he was saying about the card. He was saying the fights that were supposedly be put on this card. David the Monster Benavidez is supposed to be fighting Jarvis on the card. I mean, the cards sound like ridiculous. Like, I was like, what? Like, you got David the Monster Benavidez, you got Bam Bam Rodriguez, you got Devin Haney, you got Subriel Matias. I mean, the card just sounds, I was just like, I gotta check this card out before I start saying this shit, right? So I'm gonna get back to you on this, because I was like, this is all on one card, or is this separate dates? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, wait a minute, right? Because sometimes shit sounds too good to be true, but with Turkey, he be putting on these monster cards, bro. He's the reason why I'm not going to say boxing turned around because of Turkey. No, it did not. Boxing took off for a second. It does this sometimes, but it definitely got a lot more interesting with the arrival of Turkey and people like Jake Paul. I got to admit it. what Jake Paul's doing for women boxing, and yo, listen, on a Jake Paul undercard, people are putting real fights together, real fights on those undercards, and they're getting eyes. It's up to the fighter to take off from there. You know what I mean? Yo, Frontline, what's up? So Matias versus Dalton Smith in November, yeah. And Pitbull, what? Basic. Yeah, yeah. You guys know that. They're basically controlling the WBC Frontline. You know what I mean? And we know, this is also business and politics in boxing. What do I say on my show all the time? Boxing is a business disguised as a sport. That's all it is. It's a business of a bunch of freelance, one guy, you know what I mean? And boxing's a real dirty cutting world, right? If you're not your own son's boxing coach, promoter slash manager, and you're just like a mother and your kids growing up, and you're watching all these people get this money off your son, then the parents want to come in and try to manage their son's career, and it gets real ugly fast. Fast. It's really hard to know when the next superstar. It's not like you every guy that's coming through the door is gonna turn into Tank Davis and try to get that Tank Davis notoriety and that Tank Davis light on them, and ticket sales. You don't know who the next Tank Davis will ever be. You can go on being a boxing promoter for 10, 20 years and never hit that one guy. And because there's other promoters taking those guys from the little boxing promoters, always going to come around top rank, Ed Hearn, Bob, they're always going to come around and offer your guy things you can't offer him. So it sucks for a lot of these, you know, when's the next Mike Tyson ever going to show up, or Floyd? You don't know who's going to do that. So what to invest in these guys, the when and the where. And look, I'm going to say this again. It's not because of Turkey boxing came back. Boxing came back, and for me, the explosion in 2023. You guys remember that? You get a belt. You get a belt. You fight for 4 belts. Everybody's fighting for 4 belts. Yo, it went bananas. Bananas. It seemed like we had, like, what was it? 4 or 5 people at the same time who had 4 belts. It was ridiculous. Josh Taylor, fucking the Charlo twin, Naoya Inoue, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Yo, they all had 4 belts like at the same time, bro. The boxing got fed up with the UFC talking shit, and they agreed. They must have. All the organizations must have agreed to this shit. And they got those fights done like this, didn't they? Everybody was fighting for unifications, and that's what got us spoiled. When you see those belts strapped around your guy, yo, doesn't that give you something? It's like, oh shit, like, the more the merrier, right? And you start to see your guy, like, how strong does Saul Canelo Alvarez look with all those belts? Not only did Saul get like the 4 alphabet belts, then he got tricked out belts. He got the Ringside Magazine belt. They throwing all kinds of belts. Saul had like 6, 7 belts in the ring with him like this. Like, they got his old belts on him, his new belts on him already there, like really dressing him up, making him look like this fucking inferior foe, like, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do with your fighter. That's what you're here for. You know what I'm saying? Your promotional and your PR. They're supposed to, like, build your shit up. Put on that extra chain, I guess. You know what I mean? But it that's when boxing for me, really took off. Then it started to die down a little bit. Then all of a sudden, this dude came out of nowhere. Turkey, bam. Here's a shitload of money for fighting nobody. Here, I'm gonna change your life. Bam, you get $1 million. Bam, you get a million. Bam, you don't even box. You're just standing there. You get $1 million. Boom, you get a fancy car. He was just doing crazy shit. Like the first time I ever saw a Turkey Al Sheik event, I knew what it was for. Right, and like the world, and just in case you don't know, the boxing world, uh, Turkey's first card that he put together was for Tyson Fury. Remember, Tyson Fury was trapped in the UK. They took his passport. They took all his shit, his fathers, his brothers, for fucking around with that Irish mob gang or whatever. And he had ties with them because they were like managing Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury was trapped in the UK. He couldn't fight nowhere, but he had value. So Turkey did it out there, and so because he could travel out there to Riyadh or whatever, and this mofo went and built an entire like event, like a building structure, and made a ring outside, and made like a ring. They had like central air, all kinds of shit. Yo, the shit was wild, right? Check it out. They told Top Rank Bob Arum, they told him, if you was to start right now, crack ground in New York City with the shovel in the dirt, today we start, and you had to build a building for boxing, like Madison Square Garden or something, and he said you needed to build a building just to get a fight going, how long you think that would take you to build in New York City? He said, well, fast. Bob Arum said, to do it fast? He said, about 3 years. It'll take them 3 years to from start to finish to build that building. This mofo, Turkey, did it in 3 months. He had that building up in the sand, out there in the desert. Build central air, fucking TVs on the wall, state of the art shit. Yo, 3 months, and he built, and that's where Turkey just took off. What's up, Boxing Outcome? How you doing?
I'm doing good, good. Reminder to everybody to hit that like button, hit that share button. You know, if you know people that love boxing, go ahead and bring them over to
What's up,
round
Barbaro?
one.
Thank you. Didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, no, I'm good, man. Just wanted to talk a little bit about everything.
Yeah, yeah.
This boxing card, honestly, I think is gonna make history. The good thing about this boxing card is the fact that you don't have to pay pay-per-view.
Right,
Remember, Turkey
right,
said
right,
starting with this one is going to be free. So basically, not free, but you got to just pay for the zone subscription. That's it.
right, right. I
You
was
know,
just
there,
gonna remind you that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's gonna be amazing. I don't think Dana White is doing a good job in boxing. I don't know if it's a connections issue. I don't know if it's a money issue. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like even though people are gonna pay attention or mainly want the Crawford and Canelo fight, I just feel like that boxing card is not gonna outdo this one.
Okay. There's a lot to fucking uncover in that Crawford Canelo situation. One of the YouTube content creators is being sued, I hear, by Terrence Crawford for defamation of character. You know, these content creators get up on here, um and sometimes we could buy into our own shit and we'll say some shit, right? And that's why I try to always keep it boxing. That's why I don't talk about stuff with their girlfriends, wives, or things like that, or steroid accusations, right? I just try to keep it boxing, and Terrence Crawford with Saul Canelo Alvarez, the fight itself, you know, um, stylistically, Saul Canelo Alvarez is a pressure fighter, but a very good setup artist. He knows what he's looking for. He's not doing everything out there for no reason. You have to pay attention to him. He's not as athletic as of a fighter, but he's very durable. And his durability with his punching power can weigh on a fighter. And I think that that's what they're anticipating. As far as Terrence Crawford, with Terrence Crawford, we're all wanting to know how is he going to be able to move and past round 7, 8, 9, 10. Is he going to still look the way he did when he started? And can he like weather Saul's punching power? I don't really think that if we were talking in a different weight division, perhaps, and Saul was fighting Terrence, I don't think Terrence Crawford. I mean, I don't think Saul beats Terrence Crawford if you lower Saul, because then we're talking about a Terrence. We know how he moves, and he'll just frustrate Saul. Saul's not good against real good technical boxers. He's not good. You saw Bivol pick him apart. You know,
Lara.
Lara, come on, brother. Lara whooped that ass. All right,
Yeah,
a guy that can move.
I had Erislandy Lara win that fight.
He
I'm
won that fight.
sorry.
Come on, man. He won that fight. Let's just be honest.
The thing
And
is that the politics in boxing, they
yeah,
knew
yeah, yeah, shit happens.
That Canelo was the face of, he was the
You know
next
what they
upcoming
used?
face of boxing.
You know what they used as a basic excuse of why Lara didn't win that fight? They're saying you didn't beat the champion definitively. They're saying you came, you fought a great fight, you just didn't beat him to take all those belts like that. You know what I mean? And I felt like that was bullshit. I felt like he whooped his ass, but he doesn't do good against real good boxer mover punchers, so to speak. He doesn't do real good against that. But we have no information on what kind of version of Terrence Crawford we're going to get. It's hard for me to sit up here and look into the camera and say, Terrence is going to do this, 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 and this. If I have no information, no data to back that up, how the fuck do I know that Saul's punches are going to be so heavy for Terrence Crawford? He ain't going to make it out the third round. Like,
Right.
if what if Saul blitzes him? What if Saul says, fuck that, you're not dancing around me all night? Okay. I was a little lazy fighting at 6 o'clock in the morning against William Skull. I didn't want to move around, but now it's you, Terrence Crawford. And let's be honest, what's on the line, guys? Let's vamos a hablar claro. Let's talk clearly. These Mexican dudes have been at the American fighters for a very long time. The biggest, and I mean the biggest rivalry in all of boxing is Mexico US. That is the biggest. They have been coming at Floyd for years. They threw all the best Mexican boxers at Floyd Mayweather. They brought him out of retirement, not once, not twice, 3 times, just to get a crack at him. Robert Garcia has had the most looks, I think, as a fighter, coach against Floyd than anybody else. Oscar De La Hoya has been trying to beat Mayweather for years. And he walked out the door undefeated. And he left all those Mexicans tight. He beat them all. And the Mexicans have a chance. Listen, didn't Floyd take away Saul's O? Didn't Floyd beat their Mexican undefeated fighter? His O had to go. Let's remember. He beat them all. And they can't get him to come back. So what's the next best thing in the world to do? How could Mexico get one back up on US? I'll tell you. Not all O's are created equal. Not all undefeated fighters are created equal. You could be 10-0. The fuck does that mean? You could be undefeated and have one belt. The fuck does that mean? But you can be undefeated and have all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions and be an undefeated fighter. Now that O means something. That's an important O. I can beat you and you will not retire undefeated. Just like me, Saul says to Terrence. Why Saul gave him this fight? They gonna take that American O away. And Terrence Crawford saw the value in his O. and he sold it to Saul. But Terrence ain't fucking around. Terrence serious about this. He really believes he can win. And why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? Look at all the things he's accomplished as a fighter. The first man in boxing history to two divisions, all four belts. First man ever. Why shouldn't he feel confident in his ability? But can he pull this off? You know it. I know it. Frontline knows it. And the world knows it. Everything's against Terrence. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
You know?
a lot of people are talking bad about him, without knowing facts, and there's no, how can I say this? You can definitely doubt somebody when they have convinced you that they are disloyal or that you can't trust them. But to a person who hasn't really came out in a light or hasn't made bad news on uh taking, steroids or performance enhancement drugs, human
Yeah.
growth hormones and things like that, people on the internet shouldn't be making stuff up. That it's just nasty.
I mean, it's nasty work to destroy a person's um character, right? You know, I
Reputation,
reputation,
legacy.
everything. That's what one of the guys that I talk about, Neil. Yeah, in a way, I was offended when they did that to him. When Floyd came out and accused that man of taking steroids, Neil, yeah, in a way, I came out and made a video and I was like, "Yo, Floyd, how dare you do that?" Floyd Mayweather, I bet you anybody can talk about your kids, your mom, your dad, can talk about you, but what they can't talk about is your body of work. Now, I bet you that will fucking light a fire on the Floyd's ass because what it took you a lifetime to achieve. Floyd Mayweather is boxing, okay? And for someone to come out and say, you know what, Floyd, your whole legacy, your whole thing, you're a steroid cheat to him. That would be messed up. Don't attack his what it took him a lifetime to do. So that's a defamation of character 100%. If you don't got no proof of that, don't say that shit. Don't just say, "Oh, I think," because you want to get a couple clicks, views and likes or whatever. I'm going to tell you one thing right now, and let's just be freaking honest, everybody here watching here at Round One Sports Talk. You heard it here. I say, I'll stand on what I say 10 toes down. Just think about this for a second, rationally. Just rationally. Victor Content has been kicked out of several sports and banned from some, from ever participating, and went to prison for the concoction and the serums that he made. Now, you don't do that if you're not very smart or very familiar with what? The human body and what gives us those boosts. He's been in labs thousands of hours upon hours. Do you really think that he didn't learn a thing or two about the human body and how to get these things up and get you going and everything? Okay. I think he has a lot of knowledge. And I think he could provide the fighters with the right way and the right supplements that you're going to need to get up there, because I said all of that to say this. You don't put on a snack shirt and advertise yourself with Victor Content when you know that's a losing battle. He will never get the respect in any sport. So for Terrence Crawford to sit back next to that guy, he's got to believe in his product. And we don't take something in life because it's not going to do nothing for you. You don't give me something and say, hey, this medication right here is going to do absolutely nothing for you. You're going to take that to train? No. What about the stuff that makes you, gives you that boost, but a more natural boost? He must have came up with a kind of concoction that it's more natural and you could still get similar effects and work out good. So whatever product he came up with out of all his years in the lab, he must have came up with a good product, because These guys are not testing positive. They're not. And let's just look. The man must, he goes, if I want to really boost you up, we would go this way. But I did learn how to make this. And this will help you. And if you do this, and this, X, Y, and Z, Terrence. So for Terrence to put on that shirt, bro, he's got to really believe in what he's doing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the fucking spotlight is on Victor and whoever he hangs around with. That would be like setting yourself up, putting a big bullseye on yourself, right on your forehead. Why
Right.
would you do that?
I was
Why
just
would you?
gonna say,
It's
self
because he made
conscious
something that works.
that works, and another thing is, apart from that, self conscious will tell you, I can't get caught again and do more jail time or prison.
Oh, at his age, my God, poor man, he's at home right now battling cancer, and everybody's talking about him. Listen, Victor, if you're listening, I understand. I get it. You're never gonna get the respect or because of what happened in your life. Yeah, you went the mad scientist way. Lot of money, this, that. I get it. But I think that everybody can change their lives. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna throw a stone when I live in a glass house and a lot of my windows are broken. I've learned my lesson. Like people can change. And people listen, out of all this, he has connections in this world where he legitimately knows what could help the human body organically, naturally, what you need to do to get the best out of your performance. He must have learned a lot of stuff, and he knew the stuff to take you to another level. That was his past life. Victor is a changed man right now. You you can't be that foolish, bro.
Or did he learn how to beat the system?
Yeah, well, listen, beating the
But
system
it's
means that you're
fair.
playing within the rules.
Yeah, it's still fair
Well,
because
It's
but
still
hold up,
fair.
every
time
It's
out.
still
Who made up the
fair.
rules? Who made up the rules?
The committees, the athletic committee. It's neither
yeah every
VADA, WADA. It's none of them. It's the people that make the rules. They make the rules, and then boom. Now check this out. How about this? It's also up to the belts, and I'll prove it to you.
Wait,
I
you
I
said
went.
it's up to the commission, right?
Wait.
yeah
It's up to two.
the
It's up to
state,
two. Wait,
even
wait,
the
guys. Wait.
British.
Mr.
Okay, what?
Miyagi,
$10,
$10
my
super
man.
chat.
Wait,
Some
wait, wait.
food for the host.
We gotta address him properly, but I gotta get this sentence out. Okay, look, it's two people, it's two entities. The athletic boxing committee will deem steroid testing, and the belts themselves will also deem steroid testing on their own organization. They can request
Okay,
it or team up. Now watch. Saul Canelo Alvarez popped dirty.
right.
Instead of admitting he was dirty, the WBC increased the level that he had in his system. They signed off on it and said, "Up, Saul hasn't passed that level."
Right, they can update it, right? That's what I was
They,
gonna say.
the
They
WBC
update
did.
it.
Yeah. But check it out. But the boxing athletic committee said we don't give a fuck if you and your
Right.
belt brought up that's you. We didn't, and the steroid VADA testing committee has not.
Okay.
Now
my
you got to
question,
you
my
got to
question
inform them
is,
about your new rule change.
but here's the question: Who gave that list of quote unquote banned substances to the boxing athletic committee and or the belt organizations?
Okay, with everything going so fast, steroids is like electronics.
Right.
There's a new steroid every month.
Right.
Okay, so things are always in the steroid world. It goes really fast. There's not a lot of agents and stuff, but what information they get in, they say if you take this, it would enhance your performance by doing years of testing. And people that have dealt with this, people like Victor, in fact, that have vast knowledge. He's just a book of knowledge. Um, and what they do is they deem this to be like the bar of the human body. All these guys are the numbers guys. They're the numbers guys. They're the guys that do all that, and they say, look, this is the level. If you have more than this, then like for instance, Ryan Garcia, the guy that busted Ryan Garcia was a real asshole. The doping agency, they were not on that kid's side. They knew by reporting and saying, hey, Ryan didn't just pop for one. Remember, they said he popped for two. They said he
Yeah,
popped for Austrian and the other one that I forget the name, right?
right.
Look how much of an asshole the guy that was doing his test results, that he wanted to be the guy in the office that bagged Ryan Garcia so bad that he put in the second one, knowing that your body produces that naturally. And that level that he submitted wasn't even over the limit. But since it's Ryan Garcia, fuck it, I'm going to say two. It'll get cleared, and it did. And then the Austrian was the main one. But you remember when the story first broke, it was two. It goes to show you that these steroid guys are not on your side. They're trying to crucify you. In their little job history, bro, I backed Ryan Garcia. I got this dude. I got Connor Ben. I was the guy that bagged these guys.
Yeah,
And
they're like the police.
yeah, bro, they fucking love bagging the star. You
I
think
was
that
just gonna say,
they're on your side?
I
Fuck
was just gonna
no.
say, the good thing about Subriel Matias es que a él le gusta la vianda, you know.
Yeah, but
He
hold
don't
up.
need.
But hold up, Mr. Miyagi. My man with the 10-piece pace. My man. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi. What do you say there in the chat? I can't see it really with the glasses too.
He says some food for the host. Salute round one.
Oh, I thought you said that. And I was like, yo, but he did say it, yeah. But like I was saying, man. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi. Thank you for showing support to the brand and to the channel. Um, I think in many ways, man, a lot of these fights could have been put together, and Subriel Matias and Berto Puello going back and forth about that
The
rematch
rematch.
clause. Yeah,
Well,
man.
actually, I seen Puello is the main guy who's mainly upset at WBC. He made a tweet talking about, oh, you know that I was basically to the T, like I completed the mandatory and did this and that, and
Mhm.
you know I was supposed to get a rematch clause. So yeah, at this point it
Mhm.
looks like the WBC is taking some kind of money.
Okay, well, let's clear that up real too for all the boxing world. These are interesting topics we're talking about here, man. Um, uh, look, when it comes to a rematch clause, you have to understand that's your personal business. Okay, whether or not you can get the organization, the belt that you're fighting for to go along with it. But if you're a multiple division, unified world champion, you might want to check in with every organization you have a belt with so that they know what your plans are and what you're going to do. You're going to rematch someone else because the organization, you got to understand, the IBF does not care what the WBC is doing. They don't care what the WBO is doing. Good for you. You got a rematch clause, go that way. But wait a minute, you have our belt. And we have plans for our belt. We have a schedule. You got to fight this guy. Are you fighting him or not? No, I signed the rematch. Well, you know what? That is your personal business. Rematches do not apply to boxing. That's a contract. It's not like you're on a boxing schedule. You were supposed to fight this guy, this guy, this guy. The boxing don't work that way. So sometimes boxing wakes up the fighter and says, hey, we're taking our belt. And the fighter is outraged. He's outraged because the boxing world doesn't want to what? Do what he wants. So Usyk can say, hey, IBF, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want and I'm going to keep my belt. Really? They got to remind the fighter, bro, you signed the rematch clause. So there's only one belt in Subriel's situation, WBC. And those snakes were not on Alberto Puello's side. They sold him out with that rematch like he didn't even sign one.
What do you think they're trying to do to Subriel? They're trying to sell him out too, feeding him to Dalton
They
Smith.
desperately trying to sell Subriel out
Yeah.
to
I
Dalton
think.
Smith.
Well, actually, I wanna intervene with that part. I think right now 140, America as a continent has taken over 140. Subriel Matias, Teofimo, Gary Antoine Russell, Richardson Hitchens. Those people over on that side, over the other side of the
Está
sea,
mordido.
están mordidos. They don't have nobody at 140. So they're trying to put somebody in there. They're doing it with the wrong person too.
Right.
With Dalton Smith versus Subriel Matias, I don't think that's a good fight for Dalton Smith. Now my thing is, I hope that this doesn't get in the way from PBC making fights with Subriel Matias in the future. Because obviously they got Gary Antoine Russell, right? I mean, well, they had Alberto Puello too.
It
Um,
won't. It won't because Matias is not signed to anybody but Fresh Production. So
okay,
Fresh Production will do business with. They've done it before. They've done business with PBC, Matchroom, Golden Boy, Top Rank. They've done it business with all. The problem here is there's two snakes in the equation that people are forgetting.
the
You got
WBC.
you got Soliman and you got El Otro Eddie Hearn. The two
Wow.
Okay,
snakes.
That's two big snakes right there. You got like a
So
cobra and a mongoose.
exactly. So what they're trying to do is again, like they did with Matias in Puerto Rico with the pyro fight.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, behind the scenes, Naldo and I talked about it. And in order for Subriel to win this fight,
Oh,
he's going to have to knock
I
Dalton
can't.
Smith out
Oh no. No mas.
or
he
no mas.
will. I
If
think. I
not,
think he will.
if not, he's gonna get robbed. That's a given. The only advantage that Dalton Smith has in this fight is the time difference from UK to Riyadh. It's not that much. It's probably a couple hours. As to where Matias goes out there, it's about a 12-hour or a 10-hour differential, something like that.
Right.
I feel
And
like
for him,
Armando said the same thing. He said, I still say that if Subriel doesn't knock out Dalton, he's going to get robbed.
right, and that we talked about it behind the scenes, and it's true because you're dealing with two snakes. You're dealing with
Right.
Mauricio Suleiman and you're dealing with Eddie Hearn. So yeah, in order for Subiel to come out victorious, he's gonna have to KO.
Oye, es lo que quiere Turkey en verdad. And I
And
just
that's the thing.
I wanted to say that in Spanish,
Hey,
bro.
since Mr. Miyagi, what's the time difference between US time and Riyadh or
Riyadh,
UK
yeah,
time?
yeah. What is the time difference?
well,
Like for an
it
example,
depends.
right here, right now in America, it's 1:46 on the eastern side
Right. What
Hmm.
time is it
PM.
over there? Yeah, right. Just put in the time.
I think it's a 10-hour difference,
I
but I don't know the
I thought it
day.
was a 13 hour.
I don't. Yeah, something high.
I
I
think
didn't.
13 is
I
to Japan. You're thinking about your country.
is it?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that it was a 13-hour flight when David the Monster Benavides went out there and he talked about it. He said it was a 13-hour flight, some
Yeah,
shit like that.
13 hours from California
From
or the
DM.
West Coast.
Yeah, so he's on the West
So
Coast.
that's
So
your
he's even
3 hour
further.
difference. So it's probably 10 hours.
Actually, he's closer.
So I'm
Holy
gonna tell you
shit.
right now. I got the answer. So
And
right
you're
now I'm
supposed to
in
go
I'm in
around the world,
Cali.
right? Why
So
don't we do it go can it go around? It would be I
so
don't
right
know.
so right now it's 8:46 over there. So do the math.
8:46 where? In
Eight,
in
Riyadh?
in Riyadh.
So it's only a
PM.
7 hour difference.
so it's
Okay.
eight. All
I'm
right.
Eastern. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So you factor 7 hours. It takes the human body roughly about a week.
No, pero eso debe ser tranquilo. Eso debe. He should be.
Mr.
He should be
Miyagi is it three
fine. I
hours?
think.
3 hours over there.
Well, over there for him, it's a 3 hour differential.
All right.
But I think Matias should be fine with that part. As far as the fight how it goes, I think Dalton Smith hasn't really fought off his back foot. He's gonna have to handle the pressure, and I think the body shot is what's gonna bring him down.
I think Dalton Smith is going to crumble before the 8th round, or somewhere around there too. I thought the
Yeah.
same thing. I think that he's going to really break. Dalton Smith is about to face a formidable opponent in Subriel. Now, as far as the WBC and what they're doing, let me explain this to you guys right now. Okay. If Subriel Matias is to choose not to go the Turkey way, which he's more than in his right because he's signed by Fresh Production, they can promote him in another fight. They can try to take the Isa Pitbull Cruz fight.
No, Mauricio Suleiman already said no to that.
Okay, but wait, watch. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Right, because he sold out. Right, look, and he could also try to like hit the rematch with Alberto Puello. Right, but okay, in doing so, he's not going to get the backing by the WBC because the WBC is siding with Turkey. And I
Right.
explained this to you guys. The WBC's ranking is not like a real ranking like the rest of the boxings. They're an organization that has a 32 board members and they elect who's deemed worthy to fight for their belt. So you could be the number 5 guy, but you're selling a lot of tickets and you got a big promotion, you'll get your shot before the number 1 guy. Because the number 1 guy could be Alberto Puello. He's talented, he's good, he's a great fighter, but he doesn't sell. So he's gonna get pushback from the WBC. So rather than Subriel fighting the powers that be, show them up. The only way Subriel I see him winning this is by knocking out everybody they put in front of him
Mhm.
and getting his own voice and saying, no, ahora yo estoy vendiendo. Now I'm selling. Now you got, but, and then Turkey, he came out and said it. I was on the Boxing Voice. He told me this himself, Turkey. I spoke to him myself. I asked him about the Alberto Puello. I said, yo, are you going to leave my man out there in the cold? He said, no, we're going to acknowledge everybody. So if you're going to do that, where does that leave Isa Pitbull Cruz? That the WBC is telling him another thing. And it's just promise after promise to these boxers, just stringing them along. And it's truly whoever sells the most, I guess sometimes, is not really your skills. And that's sad. That's fucking sad. Because honestly, in a real world, let's talk men to men. Men, some man shit. Yo, brother, if I gave you a shot, bro, and I told you if I gave you a shot and I lost, you give me a shot back, you said yes. Now all of a sudden you're fighting somebody else like our contract don't mean shit. I would be offended if I was Alberto Puello because I would want my shot back at my time. I gave you a shot, Subriel. You weren't in my ranking. You weren't in my radar, bro. You were stuck fighting in the IBF for fucking eliminator fights.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Edwin. The reason why Puello took that fight, it was because out of the 3 opponents they presented to him, Subriel was the biggest bag. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that he gave. I
And the
mean,
biggest challenge.
correct. So yeah, he gave Subriel a chance. Yes, we respect that. But
Yeah.
let's not turn a blind eye and sit here and say that, oh, I gave you a chance. But let's not forget that I gave you your biggest bag, and that's the reason why you chose me.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I'm
No,
saying?
fair exchange, no robbery. Great point.
Correct.
Great point, Frontline. Great point. Fair exchange, no robbery. Brother, I gave you your biggest payday. So
Yep.
if you don't mind just waiting one fight, let me take care of this guy. We'll meet back up. Okay. So I guess that's what's being said. And Subriel's trying to get like more motivation. He's like, yo, why don't you bet the bag? Why don't we bet our purses? The entire purse. First, Subriel was trying to bet like 50,000 in the first fight. Then it was rumored that when he was calling him to verify it just before they get in the ring, he's like, yo, they didn't answer his calls.
Hey, you know that video that you're talking about that he came out where he was driving shirtless and he sent a
Yeah.
message to Puello?
Yep.
There's something at the end. El Filosofo this morning dropped a video about it, and he kind of made a statement towards the end of Suriel's video. What he
Yep.
mentioned kind of caught me by shock that nobody's talking about.
What is
What
it?
he said at the end was He was like, "Why don't you tell the people about what my team talked with Sean Boxing, and at the last minute, once I had my gloves on, you guys canceled on me."
No, 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 no.
So,
Okay, what he was saying
Fi-
was that's what he was
Fi-
saying.
so Philo made it clear this morning, but I don't know how true it is if he's trying to cover it up because that video was taken away. Domi made Subriel take it down,
Okay,
but
that's
there's
why I can't find it. I
it's
can't
still
find it.
out there. Now that being said, there's two things that can be, I guess, interpreted from what he said. Number one, the way Philo made it seem was that they had a back end bet on their
Right,
first fight, and Sean backed out
right.
once his gloves was on, meaning he never got the green light for the bet
The
when
confirmation,
the
yeah, to make,
confirmation.
yeah, yeah. No, they he said they stopped answering the phone.
Yeah, and then the other way I took it was, did they negotiate the rematch and they didn't come to an agreement money wise, and that's why they're going a different route.
No, 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 no. I can almost guarantee you, that before they even signed for this fight, that rematch was already in the paper, in the contract, in the initial contract. I can guarantee you that. So, um, the fact that they got a rematch, all they would have to do is the where, when, and how, and the where the money moves around. You know, it would go like this, like you would get $1.2 million if you won the fight, but if you lost the fight, you're only getting 750,000.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So now that the belt changed hands, so it's just a percentage. That wouldn't have been nothing they couldn't have worked out. That would have been like a no-brainer for a promoter that's been in situations like this. They would have been like, okay, the percentage just switches. We know this. We've done it in the past. This is not our first rodeo. So when they had the contract already signed, that was okay. What the monkey wrench came in was Turkey. Turkey didn't want the rematch. He wanted the next great white hope. All right? The UK dude,
Y se
right?
va a joder con Suriel.
Let me tell you, right?
So it
Because
sounds,
let
yeah,
me
it
tell you
sounds
that,
like
that is a brilliant freaking market thing. If you can get a UK fighter that's on fire, those people come out to watch their fighters. Those people support their fighter. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the real deal. Not just a great white hope where he was just a, like a shitbag, a shitty fighter or decent fighter. They want that real UK smoke. That real UK fighter that comes out and fucking kicks ass. And whoever that guy can be, you know what I'm saying? They had that clown dude, what's his name? What's his name? That
Ben
Ben
they
Whitaker.
Whitaker.
and he got exposed because they were trying to dress up a guy to be that next superstar. And I gotta admit, bro, he's been in some arena impact fights, big freaking events. And that's what Turkey's looking for. So he went and took Dalton Smith, grabbed his ass. He was shaking in the chair. Get the hell in the ring. Right?
I'll lead the way.
Get in front of Subriel. He ain't gonna hit you. Right? And I gotta admit, Dalton wasn't as small as I thought, but and then I quickly remembered. Hold on, Dalton got regular shoes on in the ring, and Subriel got flat ass boxing shoes. You know, so he looked about that much taller than Subriel. But I bet you the next time they meet, it's gonna be the other way when Subriel puts on his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Because Dalton didn't have no fucking flat to the ground boxing shoes on. No, he
Yo, if that fight happens in November, that card is going to be stacked.
bro, I don't even want to talk about the card right now. I was
No,
talking
we
about it
have to. We have to. It's the
early,
biggest right
earlier.
now.
No, listen, no, it just sounds so fake.
Yo,
It
you
I
got
sounds
no,
Benavides
but
versus Yard.
this is
no,
the
no, no,
biggest
you don't.
boxing
Benavides
card
versus you got
ever.
Benavides. You got David Demonte Benavides versus Chavez, not
Yard.
Yard.
Oh, it changed?
I think it was Chavez. I
It's
think that's
Yard.
No, Yardis, Yardis, with a Y,
Yards,
What?
Yardis.
That's how they
yards.
pronounce it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
these motherfuckers. So anyway, so and then what was
Then
it?
you got
Bam Bam
Bam Bam
against
Rodriguez,
Puma,
Puma. You
right?
got Abdullah Mason versus Noakes.
Sam Noakes,
Sam Notes.
You got
uh,
Subriel versus Puello.
No, you're gonna
Um,
have him against Dalton Smith.
I
Devin
mean,
Hay.
for lucky me, Puello. I'm thinking about the against Dalton Smith. Yep,
Dalton
against Dalton
Smith.
Smith.
And then you're gonna have Devin Haney versus Brian Norman
Devin
Jr.
Haney,
Brian
Brian
Norman
Norman
Oh
Jr.
my
Jr.
god,
Oh my
bro! It sounds fake. It sounds
god.
fucking fake. That I didn't even want to say the card because there's just too many great fights on that card.
Dude, they said Callum Smith versus the Cuban guy. What's his name?
Oh,
He just fought.
Not Iglesias. Oh, the Cuban guy.
what the
Yeah, he just fought 168. The motherfucker that only lost to one Benavides.
Iglesias.
No,
David Moriel.
David
David
Morrell
Moriel. Yeah, David Moriel va a pelear y que con Callum Smith.
con Callum.
November. Apparently also.
So is that the same card?
Apparently.
You see, there's too many
Yo,
fights on this
look
card
at this. Look at this.
that I'm just like,
J Ron just wrote in the chat that Better Biev is gonna be on that card too.
oh no, I'm sorry. Benavides is fighting Jarvis, I think. And this guy's fighting Yard.
No.
No. Benavides is
Hold on.
fighting Yard, and David Morel is gonna fight apparently Callum Smith. That's
No,
what I
but
heard on the
So
boxing voice this
I'm
morning.
looking on box truck
he's
right now.
saying
David Benavidez.
Benavides is that's Arthur Benavides. We're getting the names mixed up. You're thinking
No.
I'm saying
We're,
David the Monster Benavides is
yes,
Benavides V
Benavidez.
Arthur Benavides.
David Benavidez is fighting Anthony Yard.
Okay.
Brian Norman, Devin Haney, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez against Fernando Puma Martinez. Now, that's what's confirmed on Box Strike. But they're also talking about Arthur Better Biev fighting on that card. And they're also talking the Subriel Dalton Smith fight.
No,
Yeah.
I think the guy you're mentioning from the foreign guy, I think they're trying to put that guy in the Canelo fight, and they just not been talking about that card at all. I don't know. I doubt that they try to put him in November because today I'm hearing David Morrell versus Caleb Smith, and then we got Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. That's seven fights right there, right? Ain't that seven? Or is that six?
That'll be seven if you include because you got four already four cards, and they're all title fights. Then
Oh,
you
okay,
got
so they can do that. They can do that. Seven fights. That'd be great. That'd be crazy.
That's an entire fight card with no
of nothing but
prelim fight.
championship belts.
Yeah, it's just a championship fight card. I was nervous to announce that card. I'm allowing you guys to say it and shit, and everybody's confirming it in the chat. A lot of we've all heard the rumors. I told you I heard about it. I spoke about it, but I was like, bro, I gotta really, really like look into this card. It just sounds too good to be true. And then on top of it, my man, thank you. Shout out to Boxing Outcome here on my panel. He comes up and says, "Remember, Edwin, this is free. I mean, of course, with your paid subscription to the zone, but it's free." And I can't wrap my head around it. I'm like, Bam Bam Rodriguez, Puma, like what? Like what? Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noak, like what the fuck? And then Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. Are you kidding me right now? Like,
Hey Garfield, this is a live, Papa. This ain't a video. If it was a video, it would have been pre-rehearsed. I mean, we're gonna get names wrong. I mean, we're talking about a lot of different fighters here, and they're getting
right,
mixed up.
yeah, you know, we're not like professional like freaking analysts here, like, but we're gonna get names mixed up and shit. But
They even get it
but
wrong sometimes.
yeah, even the best. You know how many outtakes I've seen? The top guys, they just keep it going, keep it moving. You got to keep the show going. You know,
Yeah.
don't hang on
Hey,
like everything, but don't
Nadia
Like
just
fuck
said
shit
Devin
up where
Haney's
you're
good.
lying. You know what I'm saying? That's important.
Devin Haney's gonna get wrecked. Edwin, you're not getting your check.
Oh shit! Listen, I get Devin Haney checks. They say.
Yo, and then that Jadon, that you're right. It was a rumor with Arthur Beterbiev against Najee Lopez, but I don't think that's happening. I think they got somebody else
Najee
for
Lopez,
Beterbiev.
Najee Lopez, brother. If you hear me, anybody gets this to you, leave that man alone. Go about your business, bro.
Nah, I think
That,
Najee got a chance.
let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Nah,
He's got
bruh.
Yeah,
he's
we have
got
it. We
he's
have it
got
here
2 fights left,
to
probably in his
confirm.
career. He's
Hey,
40. He's 40
oh, go
plus
ahead.
years old. Arthur's got like maybe 2 fights left. Not let him go.
That's
No,
why
no,
I'm
this
saying
is the
Najee got a
fight.
Let
This is
him
the
chance.
not
fight.
no 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 Najee. Just let him go, brother.
I
Don't
have,
do it. Don't
I
do
have
it
the
this.
fight. I have the fight. It was confirmed on the boxing scene. Arthur Beterbiev versus Dion Nicholson, November
Yeah,
twenty
Deion Nicholson.
second.
That's right.
Nicholson. Okay. Yeah. Let it. Yeah. Don't poke that bear, bro, Najee. Because one day you're gonna become that bear, and they're gonna be people that are gonna avoid you on their way out, and then you likewise. You know what I'm saying, Najee? Like sometimes these scalps are good. Like those are big scalps, right? That's a big name right there. I get it, but the risk right now, I think Najee. I think he's a bit too green, still in the sport, and I don't think we've seen the best version of him. Now,
Go away on me or no matter what.
if he, but at least it would be more for me if Najee was as polished as I would like him to be, and then you put him in there and he got knocked out. Well, then at least I could say the fight was fair. But that's a veteran going against. Come on, bro. I'm not
That's
gonna say
why I
you're a
don't like.
novice, but
That's another reason I don't like the fight that everybody's trying to spectaculate. Moses Itauma versus Usyk. Like that's
he most
crazy.
yeah, but he most look, yo, that kid is making noise. You gotta admit
He's
at
only like
heavyweight.
what 20, 22.
He's making noise, bro. He's laying people out, and he's not doing it like in a bum fashion. Like these are not like accidental knockouts or him just bluntly going forward. No, he's putting his hands together in that. Moses Thomas, man, he's making noise, and he's a baby. I don't mean to call him a baby as an older gentleman. You know, we have a tendency of calling our kids babies because we
Yeah,
realize how young we
but he
really
is
were,
20 years old. He's
right?
20.
Yeah, and I could be his father. I got kids older than him. So it's
Me
like
too.
I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, like, you know, let's see how this guy works his way. But make no mistake, he is definitely on his way. And
For sure.
there's gonna be a point where that if Uzyk's still around, if he's still around, because Usyk might be heading out that door, you
No,
know,
right. But they're trying to make it like the next fight, and I'm like, dude, they're trying to rush it. They're rushing the kid.
yeah, listen, I don't think Frank Warren is gonna do that. I don't see him damaging his fighter. I don't think I think he believes in his fighter, yeah, but you gotta respect Uzyk's boxing game. And he doesn't punch light. Usyk does have punching power.
Well, you
And
know how the boxing world works. I mean, if the people ask for it, that's what they're gonna do. The money's gonna be there. They're gonna
really,
do the offers, and
really, that's how the
they'll make.
boxing world works. Then
I
why didn't
mean,
we get Tank Davis fight anybody?
well, why did we get Canelo? Why did listen? No, hold on. Why did
And
we
I
get
mean
Canelo?
anybody but Ryan
But
Garcia.
why?
Like,
No, but why did we get Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather when we knew that Mayweather, like Canelo wasn't ready for Mayweather?
oh, hold up, brother. Check
And
this out.
Golden Boy was the promoter, and he told him not to take the fight. That
Wrong,
apparently that's what Oscar
wrong.
says.
That's a
But
lie. That's a
but the
lie.
money, the money
Nope,
and the viewers, man,
nope,
that's
nope,
what sells.
nope. That's what I was talking about. Mexico and US rivalry is fucking
Mm-hmm.
epic. And they convinced that 23-year-old kid, Saul Canelo Alvarez, at the time that was 33 fights, undefeated in his career, and he already was a multiple world champion. So you're not going to tell me that he wasn't ready. That was the best version of Saul we ever had. It's just that the version of an older freaking Floyd Mayweather at 36 years old, you didn't even get the best version of Mayweather. He would have dog walked Saul. He did him dirty because he made Saul look real bad and stupid and slow and like I mean he really like made it look bad. But let's talk about what really happened.
But
They
all right,
gassed that Mexican kid up. Oscar was all about it. Oscar and all those other Mexican dudes were blind by the fact that all they wanted to do was beat him.
mhm.
They wanted to do. They said, no, send this guy, he lost. Send this guy, he lost. Send this guy. Yo, Mayweather beat up Oscar De La Hoya's entire roster of Mexican fighters, like 5, 6 of them. He beat them all up. And then after every postcard, he would, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they were like this. They were livid with Mayweather. That when they got Saul, now after he loses, Oscar's gonna say, well, I told him not to take the fight. Bullshit, Oscar. You were blind by the fact that you guys sold out your little Mexican dude just to try to beat him, bro. But and then
But
the agreement was
when
wait a
you
minute.
look at the money, when you look at the money, say for instance, think of it if you were in their shoes, right? You look at Frank, what's his name again?
Well, Frank Warren.
Frank Warren. You look at a guy like that who's old, who doesn't know. Hold on, who doesn't know when is his last day here on Earth, and they show him an amount of money. You're not gonna do it. Come on, you're not
Hey,
gonna
Mr.
sell your fighter out.
I'm gonna let Mr. Miyagi slide because it's a super chat.
All right, go ahead. Say no, read it out. Read it out. Come
He
on.
said the UK lads going to bring them belts home. Sam, I'm assuming he's talking about Sam Nooks, is going to tough it out past Mason,
Yeah.
and Dalton Smith is going to smoke Matias.
Let's go, UK. Let's go. Let's go. Love it.
He's not
Love it.
serious though, because he's got the
Oh no,
smiley
he's serious.
emoji.
Oh, he's
Nah,
serious.
he's not serious.
He's serious. He's serious
He's
about
not.
that
Look,
shit.
he got the laughing emoji.
It doesn't matter because he's laughing because he's like, yo, we coming to get them belts. Them UK dudes ain't playing around. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Abdullah Mason, I think he has a tough fight in front of him. There's a possibility Abdullah can fall in this fight against that Sam Notes kid. If you guys don't know anything about that UK dude, go check him out. Now, I'm in an agreement that a lot of
See, he's
times
laughing. He's laughing.
a lot of these times they're because he's laughing because he know he's stirring shit up because that's the way it's got to go. But he's serious. I know he's serious. Yo, because I talked about this on my show. I said, yo, I don't think Abdullah Mason's just gonna walk through this guy. I'm a little nervous for Abdullah Mason. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the
I
honest.
think
And then Dalton Smith. Y'all don't know about Dalton Smith, bro. You better go watch that man's highlights. Right now, the only thing I don't know until they're in the ring, how strong is Dalton Smith gonna take Subriel's body attack, punches, wearing him
Pressure.
down. Yeah, shit like that. Until I actually see that, because Subriel is a fucking anomaly. If you can use your feet, move around, a lot of fighters start off trying to do that with Subriel Matias, but you soon see them fall right into fighting his style. Subriel forces you to fight his style because of that pressure. So I've never seen Dalton Smith in with a fighter like that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that white dude, Dalton Smith, that motherfucker can fight. If you guys
Yeah,
don't know anything
I've seen
about
his
him,
fights. He's a quick in and out type of dude. One
yeah.
twos out,
Oh, and
one
he's
twos
got
out.
good bounce movement with his feet.
Yeah, and he got pop. But
Yeah. Oh, he's got pop. Oh, he's
but
got pop. But I've seen Subriel go against big punchers, great boxers, footwork guys. I've seen all that.
yeah.
That's why I'm not scared for Subriel. See, Dalton Smith is not bringing anything to the equation that has me going, wow, I've never seen Subriel Matias in with a guy like this. No, he just fought Alberto Puello. He did. That's
right,
just a
a
great,
great
just like
boxer.
Dalton. So So I'm sitting there
Minus the
going,
pop. Minus the pop.
right. So I'm sitting there going like, okay, because Dalton Smith can hurt Subriel with an inside uppercut. I think that there was a few big shots that Alberto Puello landed had he had a more pop. And you saw he wobbled Subriel one time. I think it was in the third round. He hit Subriel with a nice uppercut, and Subriel did like a stutter step. He went. That's when Alberto Puello's his box trainer was like, le metiste una por en medio ahí, le partiste la nariz. ¿Tú viste cómo tú le diste? And you could hear that because it was a good shot.
Yeah, but Subriel said during that fight, he got hit with a couple good shots, but he was never hurt.
Yeah, you're never hurt, right? When you get hit shots like that because you're already fucking feeling the punches and the effects that the no,
Mentally, you're
okay,
strong.
okay.
You're like
When I
you're.
used to fight, this is the one thing I remember about fighting. That when the fight kicks off, the first round, every punch hurts. The jab hurts. Every punch hurts. The minute you guys start freaking rocking, socking, boom, 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 by the second round, all you're seeing is flashes. The punches would hit me, it'd be like a flash, but it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. You know what I'm
Yeah, I feel like mentally ready, like getting like you get used to it, you know.
Give Moses
Sabes que la
Richard
gente
Torres.
masoquista.
That's a good fight. I'm just always scared for Richard Torres because he's so little. He's
And
gotta
he's wild.
he's always doing this, Richard Torres. And I think Moses is a more technical heavyweight. He really mixes up his punches well, guys. He's gonna lift Torres off
Yeah,
his
he
feet
does.
with one of those uppercuts. That's a big boy for 20 years old. That dude's a monster.
He's really
And
good.
he's good with his hands. He reminds me of those other heavyweights of the back eras, like the Larry Holmes, those guys that were heavyweights that can move. You know what I'm saying? That can throw a lot of punches and shit and look sharp. He reminds me of those kind of heavyweights. We don't see those heavyweights that much anymore. You got Usyk came in. I mean, Joshua, a good, pretty okay heavyweight boxer in his own right. I think Joshua's physique sold him as a fighter more than his boxing ability. You know what I'm saying? Just what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? He was just like fucking all muscles. So, but I don't think that Joshua really had like that Riddick Bowe fucking fighting style. The Larry Holmes of the world. Those. The Evander Holyfields heavyweight styles, their techniques, the way they look. Evander looked like a machine fighting. He looked like what you thought in your head you should fight like a like in the Rocky movies and shit. He actually fought like that. So Moses, he'll fucking. I think he'll rock Torres, bro. I think he'll put him to sleep.
Mhm.
Night, night. Get him some NyQuil, and he's gonna lay him out. But I respect what he says about that. Same shit we said. What we said. Subriel was gonna take them belts from Santo Domingo, and our guys was gonna win, and we was gonna come back. And Shakur Stevenson handled his business against Mexico. Same shit we said. UK coming for our belts. They coming for our belts. They coming for Abdullah Mason's belt, and they coming for Subriel Matias's
Well,
belt.
no.
What?
Abdullah Messi. That's a vacant. That's
Oh
a
yeah,
vacant
yeah. I'm
belt.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Remember
Right,
Edwin
right. It
De
is
Los
a vacant belt.
Santos
That's
and
Keyshawn
Keyshawn
Davis's
Davis.
vacant belt. Yes, but it's like in my head, I'm already putting the champion. Right? I'm going too far, too fast.
Well,
Right? But
it's
yeah,
1 and 2. But I think Abdullah Mason wins if he outboxes the guy. I think he's more athletic. He
yeah.
outboxes the guy. The other guy, he's more like the guy like
Right.
Dalton
You know.
Smith. He comes forward
Yeah.
type of. I haven't really seen any other
Right.
type
You
of
know what
highlight.
makes me like a little nervous for the UK guys is that when they come out here to America and they fight against our kids, sometimes them dudes were lied to, them UK dudes. And I bring this up because of what Josh Padley experienced with Shakur Stevenson. Josh Pally was honest. That UK dude, he said, "Bro, I ain't never in my life seen anybody move like that, be that fast, and that agile, that quick." He said, "Until I got in the ring with Shakur, I didn't think anybody existed like that. When they fight on the same level as their fighters out there, and they look like real competitive, strong fights, and they're even on the same level. And it will give you the impression that guy's ready. That guy's ready. Then all of a sudden, you see him cross the pond, get in the ring, and our guy just wipes them clean. Like when Ricky Hatton came from the UK, he was undefeated. He was rocking, socking with all those guys. He was banging it out, knocking dudes out. The embarrassing fight he went in against Floyd, how fast Floyd was at that age, he found out too late he was in quicksand. They're watching it from the UK and they're judging it like, man, I'll whoop his ass until you get in the, you start to realize, oh shit, these guys are like, and then, so the UK went back to the drawing board. And I got to admit, in the last 10, 15 years, they've been really upping the ante, and as a fighters, you know, and their durability and getting them really good looks
And
against
your slickness
fast
too.
guys. Yeah, but I get when it comes to Subriel, it's difficult to judge Subriel Matias. It's difficult, and you can see his hunger. Subriel Matias, I just got a report. I forgot who told me he's back in the gym.
Yeah,
Am I right?
yeah,
You heard that too? He's
yeah.
back
Yeah,
He
in the
I
was
gym already.
Nelson Adams. His trainer was on the
Yeah, that's
Argentinian show. They were on like Asaka,
right.
and
Okay,
he said it. He was like, "Yo, you know, Subriel had his little 2 3 weeks off, but you
back
know,
to work.
he the way he made it seem was like, yo, he's still healing, but you know, he's not doing any guanteo. He's not doing any sparring
Yeah,
or
yeah,
none of that. He's just all physical right now. So
right.
he's doing a lot of running, a lot of pad work and bag work and shit like that. But he's not doing no sparring. But yeah, he's back at the gym because
Right.
it's what 3 months now.
Yep. What
November
well to the yeah.
22nd. So I think eight
Yes,
10 weeks,
no, more
right?
than that.
No,
More than
a
that.
little bit
12 weeks is
more than
three
that.
months, and then he's got about 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Look at
And
Mr. Miyagi adding more flame to the fire. He
you
said
know
UK
he
coming
is.
in hot. UK coming
It's
in
coming
hot.
in hot. Look at me. See, I know he's serious. They coming in hot, baby.
Naldo said you can't underestimate Dalton. He's not a tomato can, but Matias
He
has
is
more
not.
experience in wars inside the ring. Dalton is very difficult against Matias.
Yeah, well, I gotta see it. I gotta see it. The first round will really tell. The first second round will really tell the story. And once I see that Dalton Smith can catch up to Subriel easily, and if he's like moving around and stuff, then I'll be like, okay, this is gonna be a difficult one. Then the next part in the fight, I'm gonna go longevity. Can Dalton Smith last?
Well,
And
we'll know by round three.
and you want to know what? Alberto Puello answered the question. Alberto Puello said, "Yeah, he hits hard. Yup, I see what I'm dealing with. But with the right strategy, you can avoid big shots, counter, and still move. But there, he Alberto Puello was overwhelmed with the volume that Subriel. See, because we're not machines, we're not robots. And Subriel started feeling the effects of the fight too later when he started to his volume started to drop. You saw it. Subriel was getting tired in there,
Yeah.
but his will to want to win the fight was still going forward. And Alberto Puello was confronted with that. He knows now what it's gonna take to beat a fighter like Subriel Matias. And it's fucked up sometimes because you could do something in life and say, if I get a second chance at that, I'll beat that. And
Hey,
it's true.
I had a Dominican dude tell me, he's like, "What do you talk about? Puello won that fight." I'm like, "Okay, enlighten me." He's like, "The only thing Subriel won was round 2 all the way to 8. Everything else Puello won." I said, "Okay, so do the math.
Right,
2 to 8, that's 7 rounds. That means Puello won 5. So how did Puello win the fight?"
right.
He ain't say nothing.
Yeah.
Dalton has it very difficult against Matias. I read the last line wrong on Nando's statement. My
Oh,
bad.
listen, Dalton's gonna have a bad night at the office if he can't stop Subriel's inside game. I'm gonna keep it funky. Alberto Puello started a lot of clinching. Liam Paro set the blueprint, but those days are over with. Because the first thing that Subriel Matias is gonna notify the referee when the referee comes into his the referee comes into both fighters' locker room before each fight. The referee that's gonna ref their fight. And he asks the fighter and he tells the fighters the instructions that he wants them to obey by in the ring. After he stops talking, he asks the fighter and his chief second, he asks him, "Is there anything you want to add?" And Subriel's camp has been telling them, watch the excessive clinching and headbutting. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to say. So if Dalton Smith thinks that he can just do what Liam Paro did in Puerto Rico to Subriel, he's going to, it's going to be, if that's your game plan,
It's gonna
it's
be
going to be a
a
long
long
night
night.
because you're about to
Good
lose a
luck.
point in one of those rounds for
That's why I
excessive
said
clinching.
third round. Third round we'll know because every fighter that Subriel has fought by the third round, it looks like they've been in fucking hell already.
Hell.
Turkey is gonna get up from the seat and say, "What the fuck is this? I can't get jiggy with this. This is Tom and Jerry. This is Tom and
Yo,
Jerry
but
shit."
I gotta admit, I see the value in a turkey fight. Now I can't say that all things in life are not suspect, right? But I gotta admit, I've never seen nothing like turkey. I've never seen one entity control all aspects of the card.
And that's
Me
what I don't like about Turkey.
and but I kind of like it because of the fact is you're not gambling against anybody else. It's your card. It's your money. What are you gonna cheat yourself? So you want your guy to win? Why? You own both sides. What are you betting on your guy to win
No.
to win money that you don't need?
What I don't like about Turkey is the shenanigans that he's pulling with these fighters. It's like I get it. He wants to make the best fight the best, but he's not honoring nothing else with these fighters.
He's
Meaning,
just green in the sport. He doesn't know the honor in the sport.
well, then
He's just a
somebody
rich
needs to.
dude. Yeah,
Right.
he seems like a rich dude that just went along with this thing. I want to see the best fight. Yo, Turk, my man, it don't work like that. You can't have the best fighting the best. You're gonna kill that guy. In 6 fights, he's gonna be done with. You're not gonna have a fighter. His brain is gonna be mush. You gotta have a guy fight the best, a decent fight, a little fight, then a big fight.
Bro, you know how the Hollywood movies, like you've seen movies like Fearless of Jet Li and other movies where they have people how they pay them in these underground club fights or club fight or
Yeah,
fight that's how they probably think. It's like now they're doing it legally. That like you understand me?
yeah. No, see this image that a lot of fight fans, casual fight fans, have in their head of this guy coming out of nowhere, walking in the ring, one punching people, knocking them out, and being like a super fighter. They need to get that out of their head. That's not how fighting works. When you need to acknowledge that there are styles of fighters that can really disrupt your night. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have never, ever, and I mean, except against um, Oscar Valdez, I never took Navarrete in none of his fights. I always thought, oh, the next fight he's gonna lose. That style is ugly.
It is
The way
ugly.
he fights is freaking ferocious. I was like, someone's gonna knock this guy out. And he proved me wrong time and time and time again. His awkward nature, his punching power can give a fucking slick style boxer a problem because not all fighting got to look smooth. Errol Spence Jr., we knew what he was going to do. When he came out, when you fought Errol Spence Jr., he was going to do the same thing he did last fight. You just couldn't stop it. He was so successful with that he beat 99% of his competition. He only lost to one guy. Might have been brutal, but he only lost to one guy. So 99% of his competition, he beat with that same style over and over and over and over again. That's the truth.
Yo, Puerto Rico might have another champion coming soon in September.
Who?
Christopher Pitufo Diaz. He's going to Mexico to fight for the vacant IBF.
Really?
130. 130. Yeah.
Pitufo? Where are you getting that from?
He was on. He was live yesterday on Filosofos channel.
He was?
Yeah.
So that's 130?
130.
So that's the vacant, what was it?
I think is IBF. He said.
No. Oh yeah. Well, no, that's an interim because the IBF, Eduardo Nunez has it.
That's who he's fighting. I'm sorry. That's who he's fighting. Eduardo Nunes.
So that's for the real belt.
That's for the real belt. Yes.
Let's go. Let's get it. It's fucking close.
It's in Mexico. It's gonna be September something.
Oh, we're gonna have to go out to Mexico and rip that belt off him. You know what I'm
That's what he
saying? Gotta
said.
do what you gotta do. Yeah. You gotta
That's what
make
he
it out of
said.
Mexico. That's a bitch.
Yeah, Mark
Damn.
Diaz is fighting Nunes. Nando says that's what happened with Amanda last fight against Taylor, avoiding the headbutts, but it didn't work for her fighting that new style. It was a boring fight. Just an
Eduardo
example.
Nunez is tough.
Yeah,
Sorry,
just
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You could think your process. He said, just an example of my view of that fight. So if a fighter changes that war fighting style, it's not good.
You said okay. Yo, Eduardo Nunez is
Eduardo.
Eduardo. I'm sorry, Eduardo Nunez. Yo, he's a tough dude, bro.
I got
Damn, bro.
Pitufo. I got Pitufo.
Damn, man. Why they have to be Nunez, man?
Well, who else
Because
is
he
it
got
gonna
the
be?
belt. That's why. He got the belt. That's why. Hey, sometimes these fighters got to clash. They got to clash. Oh, that's a tough fight right there, bro.
You gotta understand, bro. Pitufo's a fucking guerrero.
I believe it, but
He
I
he
also
showed it.
know who Nunez is. I
He
also know he kicking ass, bro.
he showed it against Navarrete. He put it all in the ring. That's who Pitufo is.
Yeah.
He fought Henry Moncho Lebron, and he didn't come out hurt from that fight. He lost, but he didn't come out hurt.
Remember that Navarrete fight got declared a punch, right? Not a headbutt.
The one that against that Brazilian or whatever he was,
Yeah.
African.
No,
Remember,
Philippines. No, he's from Philippines, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the
right,
Philippines. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And they said that it was a
They
headbutt.
they still
And
got it as a no contest though.
no, it's a no contest now
Right.
because right.
Initially, they gave it to Navarrete.
They gave the fight to Navarrete, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now
Exactly.
it got re-looked at, and it was like, nah, that was a punch, bro. So now it's a no contest, so it doesn't go on a loss on the Filipino fighter. It's better that way. It's better that way. And they should have like hit the rematch on that. I would have wanted the rematch because
The rematch. They should have hit the replay and then told Navarrete, listen, it was a
that's why we
punch.
have Mr. What the fuck
They,
Mickey Mouse
They
operation
said
you
they
guys
said it
I
running?
wasn't
don't
working
know.
that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't. How convenient, you fucking
it was on strike.
yo.
No, honestly,
Boxing is
I
the shit,
think
just like Javante Dane Davis's fight.
right.
Oh, the instant replay was down.
Yeah.
But
Honestly,
it's
they should
okay.
they should have told Navarrete, it was a punch. Do you want to continue or do you want to stop? Because if you stop, then it's considered a knockout or technical knockout, and if you continue, different outcome.
Yup. Oh yeah,
But
Miss Miyagi. No, was it somebody? Did
such
Mr.
a great
Miyagi was?
fight though. It was
Mr.
such a
Miyagi
great
had
fight.
sent me something on Instagram. He said this is a fighter to watch a while back, I think it was, and it was Nunez. It was Eduardo Nunez, and like a lot of people are starting to know about this guy. A lot of people. He's making noise, bro. That's a danger. And then you got to beat him in Mexico, bro.
He said he's a
And
small version of Arthur Beterbiev.
yeah, you got to beat him in Mexico in front of his, the 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 fucking energy is gonna be on his side, man. Every time, every punch he throws, they're gonna even if he misses. You know how that goes for the home crowd guy, And then every time our guy lands a punch, they don't nobody,
Naldo's correcting you. He said it's a N, not a N. Because you said Nunez at first. It's Nunez.
Nunez.
Aprende a hablar español.
Oh yeah, like Amanda Nunez. Amanda Nunez. She was a
It's carro, no cajo.
carro. Yo, I don't roll my R's because in Boston we kill the R. In Boston, in New
Don't worry
England,
about
the
it.
way we
In
talk,
Puerto Rico, they do the same
ah,
thing though. There's
ka,
Puerto Rican people that
water.
do the same thing.
Nah,
Oh,
nah,
you talk about it in English. You talk about it in English.
yeah, in English, like the way we talk out here, we kill the R. We don't roll the R's in order to communicate. So when I go back to talking Spanish, I'm so used to not rolling the R's, my Spanish sounds rocked.
Yo, so
Right?
there's a saying that the Boricuas they don't roll the R's, but los Puertorriqueños they roll their R's.
Wow, wow. So now we're setting new standards for Puerto Ricans now. Yo, anyway, listen. Uh
But
I'm
yeah,
working on it. I'm working on it
September, we got Pidufo in the ring with
with Eduardo Nunez.
Eduardo
You
Nunez.
think you
Nunez.
think Xander Zayes should try to get the Fundora fight as soon as possible? I think
No,
No,
that's
no, no.
no. Why not?
no.
What's going
Mm-mm,
on, guys? What's
mm-mm.
going on?
Let that marinate. I want my boy. He's only
He
22.
he needs a light defense.
He's
Little,
ready.
a little
He's
something, some.
ready. He's ready. I'm telling you guys,
No,
he's
I know he's
ready.
ready.
I
I'm
know
not
he's
saying
ready.
he's not ready. We're not saying he's not ready. What we want is for a title defense,
I
so that
just,
he
I just, I know.
no we want what we want from him. What we want from him. Go get a title defense first. You complete the ceremony as a champion. You won it. You defended it. Now Sebastian Fundora is riding on a high. Now that's a unification. We can relive the fight. We're not scared of Sebastian Fundora.
Well,
We think that Xander Zayas is the more technical of the boxers out of all the current champions. Okay.
Yeah,
So we're not sure about the power or what that's going to look like because
right.
Sebastian's a fucking problem.
No, I
That's
do
the
like it
problem.
as I do like it as the second fight because I want it to take place in June in New York, Madison Square Garden.
Xander can
Um,
fight somebody there with a name. Yo, they were even throwing around the Cerdeno,
no. Right now, this is the map
the
that they have
Soreno
for
brothers. Somebody was
Landon.
throwing that around on the internet. That one of the Yuri Cerdeno, is it Yuri or was it? Yeah, it's not Hector. The other one's Hector. So they want
It's
Yuri,
Hendry and Yuri.
Yuri. So they want Yuri to
Yeah, but
fight.
Yuri's at 60.
Then why did they have Yuri's name in? Yeah.
I,
Oh, they
am
want him to come down.
no.
Yeah,
Here's
they
what
do.
no
The
they
other one
don't
fights at 47
at
or
40.
40.
Here's what they want for Zayas. This is just the rumors and speculations. They want him to do a defense at 54, and they're planning to be Staniones. He's coming up from 47 to 54.
Really?
They want to give him a easy but not too easy of a
I don't
defense.
like that fight. I don't like that fight at all
And
whatsoever.
and
Why?
then and then here
It doesn't really help Zaya's as a more give it more popularity. For that, just give him Keith Thurman and retire him.
but
What you're saying, you're fighting against what we're looking for. We want a title defense.
correct.
We
Right.
want
Now,
someone.
You could have gave it to Keith Thurman,
no, Keith Thurman
who's
Keith
ranked
Thurman's
number
tied up
eight.
with somebody else right now.
But listen. If they would have gave an offer to Keith Thurman, it would have been a lot better. The style makes sense, right?
Okay.
And he's ranked number 8, and then he's only had one fight at 154 versus
Okay.
Zayas, and
But
if
Okay.
here,
Zayas would have been able to retire him.
but here's
Oh,
the map that they have for him. Supposedly, it's all rumors and speculation. But
at this point, Mr. Miyagi, what's up? Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Hello,
so
hello.
what's up, Mr. Miyagi? What they plan on doing is giving him one defense, right?
Yep.
Supposedly at 160, Janabak is gonna vacate and move up to 68.
Hmm.
So what the plans are is he has a title defense at 54 against Staniones,
Hmm.
and then from there he's moving up to 60
Hmm.
to fight for a belt up there for the I think the WBO.
Well, he
So
might
that
But
not even fight. He
but
might
why
not
not?
even fight Sebastian Fedora or any of these other champions. All right, before we go any further,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Miyagi hit the panel and with that crazy UK talk. So we're gonna get to that in a second, right? Okay, okay. So we get right to that. Okay, but um, I think that um, I just lost my fucking train of thought. We were talking about Xander Zayes, right?
let's just jump right into Mr. Miyagi. Fuck it.
You know what? I think we should just question Mr. Miyagi on his true belief about what's going on with Dalton Smith and his Sam No. So, Mr. Miyagi, you have enlightened us with your comments and your support to the channel.
And you caught
Now,
our attention.
and you got our attention. Now, which one of us is right? Either Frontline or me? Were you laughing up a storm? Or are you serious about this? Not let Frontline know, Mr. Miyagi. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Oh well, I was smiling with apprehension.
Yes,
That's
you
why.
was.
It'll
Hey,
be a
wait,
good fight, but
yeah,
I don't know if I can't think of a fighter that I've seen that puts as much pressure onto someone as Subriel Matias.
right.
It'll
Yeah.
be interesting, but I'm backing my
Oh, yeah.
boys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I would stay on. You got good fighters. Why wouldn't you? I would definitely stay with your guys because your guys got a real shot. You know, both of them. Both of them got a real shot. Sam got a real shot, and I think that Dalton Smith got a real shot. They're not where they're at in their career because they just rolled out of bed. That's for sure. They definitely may beat the people they needed to beat. They climbed the ladder, rightfully so given. I'm not sure that, with all the controversy that's coming out of I can't believe so many people right now are like in Subriel's fucking DM about who is he gonna fight. Is he gonna fight Alberto Puello? Is he gonna fight Isa Pitbull Cruz? Is he gonna fight Dalton Smith? Is he gonna fight Liam Paro? Liam Paro left the division. He went to 147. And it's just he just acquired this belt, and it's just a lot of things. But I think it's official now. I think that that's the way it's gonna go. I don't think there's no more speculation. I think it's gonna be Subriel in November with Dalton Smith, and we all know that Abdullah Mason is preparing for Sam. So, how do you, Mr. Miyagi? Tell me your honest assessment, man. Tell these people in the world, please. You're from out there. You know Sam Notes. Tell them about this guy.
Well, the thing I find with Sam, he's very sharp and he's got decent pop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, the only thing I can't recall his resilience to strong pressure fighters. I can't think of any fights off the top of my head that really showed me that he can deal with someone putting like in his face for 12 rounds or
Right.
10 rounds or
Yeah.
whatnot for the entirety of the fight. But he's got for a UK fighter, he's got decent footwork and he likes cutting the angles as well and slinging the left or right hook as he's like off to the side at a 45-degree angle,
Right.
which would be interesting when if he pushes up against Subriel and Subriel has that like half second where he kind of stops in the high guard. And
Mm-hmm.
as he starts opening up, he can get caught hard with one of those looping shots. But I was only messing when I said that Dalton Smith's going to smoke Matias. That's going to
Yeah,
be an
yeah,
absolute war, that fight.
yeah. You
Uh,
know, you said some interesting things there about your boy Sam Notes, and you're right. I'm looking back currently at the fighters that he fought, and I can't really recall the kind of guy that gave him that fight. But what I do like about Sam Notes, and I did acknowledge that he does put his punches together fairly well. He attacks upstairs and he has this sneaky check hook that comes downstairs in the body. But against less less experienced fighters, he can look that way. And then you look at Abdullah Mason. Now, Abdullah Mason is 19-0. Sam Notes, he's 17 and 15 knockouts. He only didn't knock out two of the guys he faced. So Sam Notes, and rightfully so, has stopped a lot of his opponents. And we saw Abdullah Mason go down numerous times in his fight. Um, and that becomes a question. He recovered well from the punches and everything. Yeah, he did. But he still got caught big. And what did he get caught with? An inside left hook. And Sam knows, but we gotta see it. We gotta see it to believe it. Like, so it is what it is. What happened
you know
here?
what? Do you know what I find with our UK boxers?
Yep.
Every time, every time I watch them fight um, Americans, particularly Black American fighters, our fighters always seem to be really, really. They're never relaxed in the ring. They always
Right.
seem really stiff, the movements. But I think that's a lot of it's down to training because our fighters still seem to train very
Right.
what's the word, like very orthodox on the training methods, sort of like how
Hmm.
you look at most Japanese fighters. They're very to the book on how they throw punches, but it
Right.
also makes you very stiff when you're in the ring.
Right. Could you think that it could be the moment the lights are too bright? You think it could be
I
nerves, and
no,
they're not really opening up, or what?
it could be a little bit like that, but I think I've seen quite a few fighters that were promising
Right.
that they get in the ring with someone that's very relaxed and moving. Do you know? What was it? He was a contender at 122 pounds from the UK, Liam Davies,
Okay.
and he fought a guy called Shabazz Massoud. Now Shabazz
Yep.
literally looks like Devin Haney, but a
Hmm.
small version. And they fought, and Liam was just so tight when he was throwing his punches. He
Right.
was just missing and missing and missing. But Shabazz has been trained. He's been trained and he's done a lot of sparring overseas, so he's got all of the different. I just think it's the way that a lot of UK trainers train the boxers.
Right.
The only exception you'd see, I'd say, is probably Ben Davison
Mhm.
because
Hey,
he
what do
likes
you think about
fighting
him?
movers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good trainer, but you need if you're really going to succeed with Ben Davison, you've got to be a very fleet-footed and agile or athletic fighter because
Right.
you see what he tried doing with Anthony Joshua for the
Hmm.
Dubois fight. He
Right.
tried to make Anthony Joshua into a counter puncher, which is not what he was. He's
Right.
never been he's been a boxer puncher, but he's always been an aggressive offense first fighter throughout his whole
Right.
career.
Right.
And he tried making Anthony Joshua into a counter puncher, trying to pull and counter Dubois, but it just doesn't work because he doesn't have the athleticism. But
Right.
you see
Right.
Moses Atama,
Right.
he's perfect.
Moses is putting his hands together well, like he's letting them go, and he's fighting with confidence. I haven't seen him fight the top heavyweights that we have to offer yet, so those questions are going to be answered soon. But he's been in the ring with some formidable guys, some tough
But
guys, and
you think
he made it look
he's only
easy.
he's only what is he
20.
21? He's only 21.
I think he's
I think
20.
he just turned 21.
Did he really? Okay.
Yeah, because they were saying about breaking Mike Tyson's record because wasn't Mike Tyson 20 when he became world champion?
Nah, yeah, Mike was 20 years old, 100%. He was 20 years old when he became heavyweight world champion of the world. So if he passed 21, he's not gonna break Mike Tyson's record. The only
Trinidad was
record,
22.
the only thing you can do is try to become undisputed faster than Mike Tyson. That's about all he can do. If he gets it like in one shot, fights Usyk and gets all the belts like in his next fight or some shit like that, then he'll beat Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson did it the noble way. He went out and fought each champion individually. He didn't fight a guy that had all the belts. He didn't fight one guy and inherit three belts. That didn't happen. Mike went and fought three champions individually, beat them all. And the way he did Larry Holmes and shit, like Larry Holmes was a fucking great champion, bro. You should see his run. Like when they say that these Usyks of the world are better than, like, I'm like, yo, you guys are forgetting a lot of big heavyweight champions that had some phenomenal runs. You know, Riddick Bowe's run was pretty fast and shit, yeah. But Larry Holmes's run, those guys, boy, I tell you, he's got fucking Larry Holmes could say he got Ali's name on his record too. Like, I know it's a very controversial fight in age when they fought, but um, these heavyweights are not like those. But that Otama kid, bro, Moses, the way he's got the youth on his
He
side, the
moves.
way
Yeah, he moves really good in the ring.
he can really, really be that next guy. We gotta see it, to believe it. Sometimes some of these guys fade out. Sometimes these guys we think they're gonna be, and they don't really reach that pinnacle. So it's gonna be real interesting to see because there's a lot of bangers up there. There's a lot of big boys up there. They wanted to put him against who was it? Martin, right? Martin Piccoli, right?
Yeah,
And then Frank Warren was like, hell no, I'm not putting Moses in him just yet. Not now, not yet. Because he understands the danger of that young man. He's good, he's great. There's a lot of big hitters up there. So he's gonna have to get through a little gauntlet. I think at some point him and Dubois might meet. At some point, he might have to fight Dubois. I see that maybe in the future, and that'll be a big fight out there.
I'll say make that fight next.
You know,
The way the Bois looked against Usyk,
yeah,
and the
but that
fact
was
that he was,
against Usyk. That was
I
against
know, and the fact, but
look
look
how
at the fact that he was partying the night before.
I mean, man, sports is an ugly game, real ugly game. There's little things that go behind the scenes. Me and you were not privileged to know. We're not. But I've heard stories and athletes tell stories, right? And I'll never forget this one story Larry Bird told that they were in the bar and the head coach of the opposing team was in the same bar with them, and the head coach ordered the Celtics, paid the tab for the entire night, and said free drinks for all of you. And he called a bunch of escort girls. He called like 6, 7 escorts, paid all the ladies, and sent them to the Celtics so they can get drunk and bang these escort girls all night, so that the next day they would be tired. They'd have been up all night, and now we got to play in an afternoon game. And sometimes people will see the athlete and they know they got to fight the next day. And all of a sudden, this Dubois dude, he doesn't understand it. Why all these women coming around him? And meanwhile, they're being sent to him. And the party is being told not to stop. You see? And he has no idea what's going on. And he's thinking he's like living up to everybody must love me out here. Blah, blah, blah. And they're just setting you up, kid. They're just setting you up for failure. And shit like this happens. It really does happen
Bro,
in sports.
it's almost like you narrate. You told the story basically exactly how it was supposed to happen, and they got it. They got it done.
They got
You
it done.
imagine? You imagine that really did happen? Like they
It-
got his address, his phone number, whatever the case may be, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna send strippers and et cetera,
That
et cetera."
Yo, it's a dirty business, bro. They'll make it seem like the entire room's your friend. They'll have a bunch of people in there fucking cheering your name. Chug, 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 chug. Bro, you got a main event the next day. They did it to Mike Tyson. They had Mike Tyson the day before the Evander Holyfield fight in a hotel, stuck up there. Yeah, they did it to him. They did it to a lot of fighters. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You guys all come into Vegas. You guys are all in the same hotel room or over there. It's not very hard to call a guy that knows what hotel he's staying in. Go downstairs, play the clerk. Here's $100. What room's he in? Okay, girls, hit the room. Let's go. Boom. It's a dirty business, bro. It's up to you, the fighters, to recognize these things. There's even fighters that are so superstitious, they won't even eat the food that's sent to their room. The room service that comes, they won't even eat that food. They don't trust it. And all of a sudden, the day before the fight, you got massive diarrhea. You're like all fucked up, bro. Sports is ugly. They don't just do this in boxing, bro. They do this in all kinds of sports.
Yeah,
if
for
LT
sure.
was a lot, I'm up and running, they would make sure that there was enough drugs, paraphernalia, and women to make sure, and they couldn't stop them. It was like when Larry Bird came out and they sent all the prostitutes to them and everything. They came out and they still beat. You guys know the Celtics still beat them.
Look what they did to Magic, man.
Bro, like listen, they a lot of these guys, you go through shit because sometimes odd makers or bookies or some people and they're in bad spaces with some, and they need to lose, and they'll do what they got to do, but it's up to you and your team to block bullshit. Those girls come knocking on the door. Oh, not tonight, sweetheart. You need a good team around you. They needed to grab Dubois. Hey, party's over. You got a big fight tomorrow. That's what you're supposed to have your team for, to block bullshit. But yet, they fucking got the rest of the team drunk. They got women on the rest of the team. They're over here thinking, oh shit, we're stars too. And meanwhile, you got your boy up all night. Mission complete. Dubois shows up before he can't get it going. He can't get it going. That liquor is sitting in him. Last night, his head's still spinning probably from the hangover. He didn't look like himself. It looked like they wore him out all night. Because he didn't look like the AJ that went against Joshua. He didn't look like the AJ that went against Miller. I mean, the Dubois that went against Miller. He didn't look nothing like that. All of a sudden, in the biggest fight of his life, he couldn't get it together. He was getting hit with punches that AJ and these dudes couldn't hit him with. He was on AJ like this. Out, cold. There you go. And I'm looking at it from the outside. I'm like, damn, Dubois, did you fuck up? Subriel Matias, they did it to him too in Puerto Rico against Liam Paro. I spoke about it a couple times, but I don't shit on Subriel or nothing, but it's a pretty big rumor, pretty big fact. The night before the fight, he was in that hotel with that rapper that he came out with. And all those rappers' friends, they put a whole bunch of shit on social media. Not Subriel, they did. That got around because of the shit they were posting. And it was true, I think. I can't confirm or deny it, but I think Subriel fucked up the night before the fight, Liam Paro. That's a big rumor. Everybody knows that in Puerto Rico. Nobody really talks about it, but this is the shit that happens. What if they paid that rapper dude, the other team? Here's 20 grand, 20 stacks. Bam, that's all. Little 20 stacks. Beep. Keep him up all night. Rap, stand right there and rap for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. We have no idea what's going on with these fighters, man. And sometimes they're treated like this. They take those fighters out to Japan, bro, and all the fighters that go to Japan are real worried. Like, what the fuck is this? Because these guys are like, hey, bro, hey, they're all in your face, like you're freaking like this huge superstar, and start to get suspicious. You're like, wait a minute. It's too many women on me. Like, hold on. Like, yo, chill. Like, slow down. Like, yo, but you gotta work. You gotta be careful in whatever sport you're in that you're not misled. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a lot of temptation in this world. There's a lot of things that go behind the scene with these fighters. And we as fans, we have a tendency to thinking these fighters are like robots. We say, this guy's going to beat this guy because he fought and did this. And he comes out and he doesn't look like that. And you're like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened to Dubois against Usyk? What was that? And you start to question, like, why is this? Why did he look like that against him? And what is this? And sometimes it's not all about styles. It's other things, because we're human. We are human. And humans, unfortunately, we are corrupt as they comes. You could try to say that you're the most honest person, and you might want to think that in a real noble situation, you would make the right decision. But I've learned in life, that's not how life works. That's not how life works. Everybody has a price. You better believe that. Everybody has a price. You just got to know what that person wants. We might not all want the same thing. What I deem valuable might not be valuable to you. But believe me when I tell you, we all have a price. So these fights right now, in the heavyweight division, I just hope that the heavyweight division gets hot again. Once again, it's struggling. That's no secret. It's really struggling, the heavyweight division. So we need some big fights. We need some Moseses to come around and really solidify themselves like Usyk did. I don't think Usyk's going to get the credit at the end. I think he's a lot of more hyped fame now because he's the shiny new thing. And I don't mean to say hype in a negative way, because what Usyk's doing, there's no hype behind what he's doing. He's actually kicking these dudes' asses. I mean hype in the reference of him already being called the greatest heavyweight of all time, which he only fought 3 people. 3 people. And he's already the best heavyweight in the world. He might have fought 3 people 6 times, because that's how many fights he fought. Them same 3 people, he just fought each of them twice. You can't get credit for 6 fights only fighting 3 names. That's going to be the argument that's going to hurt him in his career when he retires. Trust me that I'm telling you this. There's going to be one guy that's going to point this out, the obvious. He's going to look at the record and go, wait a minute, wait a darn minute.
On paper and resume. But I mean, at the same time, when you say that, you got to think about when that person says that, you got to debate that person. Is going to be debatable because you're going to say, well, look at that person's resume. Look at Tyson Fury's resume. Look at,
Yeah, they didn't fight.
the,
They didn't fight repeat fighters. They didn't repeat fighters. You're gonna have the same problem that Manny Pacquiao is living right now. Okay, Manny Pacquiao is argued among fans being one of the greatest fighters to ever live. Right? Reality is much different. He just got elected into the Hall of Fame in June. Have you heard anything about Manny Pacquiao's inducting ceremony? Have you heard anything that came out from them acknowledge him as the greatest fighter? Have you heard anything? When you've seen like Floyd and all these other guys retire, they put out big things, articles, shit about what they accomplished as a fighter. They put out their resume in X, Y, and Z. Why do you think they haven't done that for Manny Pacquiao? You know why they didn't do that for Manny Pacquiao? Because the truth came out. He was a repeated fighter. He fought fucking this guy 3 times, this guy 3 times, this guy 4 times, this guy 2 times, this guy 3 times. That's what he did. How many times did he fight Tim Bradley? 3 times? How many times did he fight Mark? 3 times? How many times?
Eric Morales.
I think
three
Eric
times.
Morales? 3
Yeah.
times? Like
But
when
I think Bradley was twice, no?
no, I think it was actually 3 times he fought Bradley. I think it was. He fought the majority of his career those guys too many times. When he not got knocked out by Homeboy, that was like his 4th
Yeah, but
time
you know what?
fighting him.
Right, I understand what you're saying about Pacquiao, but you know the good thing about Pacquiao is where you pointed out about Tyson. He's one of the fighters, he's one of the few fighters, right? That even in his prime, or even past his prime, he would try to fight fighters or have fights every 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, his activity and the
His
fact that
activity. There you go.
yeah, okay, his activity was great. I'm not gonna no, I don't got nothing to say about Manny Pacquiao's activity. I don't even got nothing to say about the guys he fought. The names that he has on his resume, spot on. Great resume. A lot of repeated fights. You can't count the same name 4 times just to make things right. Just he fought that one guy. When you start to do that in Manny Pacquiao's resume, his resume shrinks so bad. Yo, the number I did the math on this one time, and I was just like, wow, the Hall of Fame is gonna catch on to this, right? His number drops of names opponents, like almost half. It's a big drop in his resume. Because I can't give you credit for fighting this guy 4 times. It's just you fought, that's the same guy, bro. You talk for Tim Bradley this many, that's still Tim Bradley, bro.
He wasn't fight. He wasn't fight Floyd Mayweather again.
Listen, and he only fought him once, but um check it out, right?
That would be a repeated
It's
fight.
the same concept. Same concept. Do you call Subriel Matias a 2-division world champion or 2-time champion? Where are you calling him a 2-time champion in? The same division? You already won a belt at 140. You can only get credit one time.
Yeah,
See
but
what
it has
sucks?
to.
But
But because of the multiple belts, no.
okay, check it out. Check it out, right? Okay. When we do that, shit gets crazy, right? In actuality, Floyd Mayweather has 5 belts. That's all he has. He has 5 belts. Naoya Inoue has 4 belts. Terrence Crawford has 4 belts. That's all they have. Now, in the division, there are multiple belts, meaning Naoya Inoue could have got all the rest of the 3, but it's in the same division. So he's a 4-time champion, unified, undisputed, but in one weight division. So if all you need to move up to the next weight division is do what? Get 1 belt. You don't need all 4. You don't need 3. You don't need 2. What do you need? 1. The minute you win the belt in that division, you have secured that. You have shown you can be a champion in that weight. That assignment is done. How powerful of a champion you want to be, that's up to you. Go get the other 3. Now you're a powerful champion, but only 1 weight division. You might have 4 belts, but to make things less complicated, you only got 1. You can only come to division once. On paper, Subriel's a 2-time 140-pound champion. 2-time, but only 1 division. You
Yeah,
understand? So
yeah,
Floyd got 5 divisions. He only has 5 belts. I don't care how many belts you got in the division. It does matter, right? It does. But you can only get credit 1 time for the division. That's like Manny Pacquiao winning a 147-pound belt, WBO, 3 times at 147. He won that belt 3 times at 147. You're not a 3-time 3-division champion because you won it 3 times. No. Congratulations that you won it 3 times. That's incredible. But you still only have 1 division. You can't count those 47 belts multiple times. Once you did it once, let's say you leave the division, you come back and you win another title there. you didn't really add anything to your resume because it's counted by divisions. How many divisions you can go up? And then there's other champions that cover it by longevity in one division, like 19 world title fights in one division. That's remarkable. That's some championship shit right there. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways of being champion, but I don't say Mayweather has 27 belts, 26 belts. That's too complicated. Mayweather had 3 in one division, 2 in another. He won this one multiple times. And so he has a lot of belts. Yeah, 26 belts or whatever, what the number is. I forget what it is, 23, 26, right? But to make it cut and dry, it's just the simplest way. He only got 5 belts. That's it. That's it. And Terrence Crawford got 4. Naoya Inoue got 4. Usyk got 2. That's it. That's it. I don't have to count fucking 4, that blah, blah, blah. No, but you were strong as a champion. Yes. You were. If you become undisputed, that's a different title. That means that you were the most dominant a champion can be in that weight division. Now that's a different conversation. You know what I mean? Entirely. So these belts do matter. They do matter. They matter. They matter for your career. They matter for your legacy. Want to be Keyshawn Davis? Want to be Tank Davis? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to laugh the day Tank Davis retires. If he retires tomorrow, let him walk in a boxing room and think he can conversate with all them real champions when they have like those ceremonies and shit and all the champions on stage. Go ahead. Get up there. Go get up there and put what you did, your body of work, against their body of work. See how serious they take you. It does matter who you fight, what you're fighting for. And you're not going to get in a sport and say, yeah, you know what? Fuck the highest award of the sport that I'm in. I don't need to win the Vince Lombardi trophy. I'm just going to claim to be the best football player. I don't need to win the NBA championship. I'm just going to declare myself the king. What? I'm the best fighter in the world. I don't have no belts because I don't care about belts. Then how are you the best fighter in the world? How are you the best fighter in the world? How are you the greatest if you're telling us, fuck the highest award you can get in your sport? That's just foolish talk. It's foolish talk. It's foolishness. These belts are everything. That's what we compete for. That's what they were established for. It solidifies your claim as the best. If you have one of those, it's for a reason. It speaks volume to who you are. Just like the conversation with Xander Zayes and Virgil Ortiz that I heard this morning. Virgil Ortiz was saying that Xander's not a real champion and that he could beat him. And Xander came back and was like, well, you know what? You know what? You know what you're not, Ortiz? A champion. Guess what I am? A real world champion. Yo, so he hit him with that one back. And what can Virgil say? You want to run your mouth to a real champion that got a belt? And you want to think that what? Belts don't matter because you got a little interim green belt? Like, Virgil, you need to pump your brakes and recognize what really is going on here. He's the real champion, not you.
Because he's not even challenging Fundora. I mean, what's taking him so long?
I don't know. I don't know what Virgil.
The champion.
He had more opportunity.
That's Golden Boy.
What's up, Koki? What's up, baby? How you doing? He had more than an opportunity to fight Terrence Crawford and to fight guys like that at the division before he came up at 147, before he moved up to 154. There was opportunity there for Virgil, and Virgil just never took it. He was kind of like, William Cepeda was worse, right? Because I couldn't understand how he got to the number one, and all across and never fought for a title. I was like, how the fuck are you become across the board the number one contender for all? When's the last time you seen that? And you never fought for a world title? You're paying all these sanctioning fees to these companies, to the belts, to the Alphabet Boys, but you're not putting in your paper to get your title shots? Because guess who the champions were? They were champions like Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, fucking. He just didn't want to dive into the shark infested water. Same thing impression I get from Virgil Ortiz. Great fighter. Looks strong. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez fucked his mindset up training with a fighter like Saul, but we'll get into that in a minute. But why he's good? He's good.
I think what you said earlier about the WBC, he's the WBC interim. They
Yeah.
probably screwing him over too.
No. The WBC would actually work with Virgil. He's Mexican.
Then I don't know
That's
what's
that's
taking him so
it's
long. Like,
him. It's
then
him.
what are the excuses he has on the internet? He's over there talking about Zayas and he can't even get it.
Listen, do the power elimination. Do the power elimination and you'll find out bullshit sometimes. Just follow your clues, right? You mean
Oh,
to
I
tell me
called it.
you got the
I called it
Mexican
cat.
organization. You got the Mexican WBC on your side. Everywhere you've been, every division you've been, he's been some form or some shape of a WBC interim gold, silver champion. Virgil. He's been in bed doing business with them for a long time. Them Mexican dudes they've been dying to put that belt around that boy's waist. Is that every time he gets to the next spot, the next champion, he's like, what the fuck? It's for the WBC belt, it's not gonna be easy. It's the greatest belt, the most powerful organization. When they put them fights together, sometimes shady, sometimes yes, but they really want to promote their guy. You know what the WBC's been trying to do for years? For fucking years. Put a belt around Ryan Garcia's waist. And they can't do it because he's such a fuck up. They tried so many times. Didn't Ryan Garcia win the WBC silver? Yes, he did. He's won numerous little green belts. Ryan Garcia. He had that little green one with the little rainbow. He had that one too. They've been trying. Then the time they got their shot. Ryan beat Devin Haney. We're going to put this WBC world title around your waist. Ryan Gar goes out there, tests his positive, misses weight, fucks the whole night up. By missing weight, you are no longer qualified for the belt. There goes your WBC world title out the window. Ryan Garcia. They have been trying so hard to put that young man, the way he looks like a Mexican Superboy with his fucking slick back hair. Ryan Garcia, he got all the looks, got the skills, got speed, got moves. He just, so that's why I think that, Xander Zayes, I said this morning, I believe it was, I said, yo, my man got the WBO. That's the Puerto Rico belt. That belt their headquarters is in Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico wanted a good champion to represent them. And it seemed like a lot of our Puerto Rican guys, for some reason, we went the IBF way because the IBF did business, just like they did with our guy, Felix Trinidad. When no other organization was giving the IBF Trinidad, you made it to the top, we're rocking with you. And he took off from there. You know what I'm saying? Trinidad represented the IBF like really well. And that was the belt that he had the longest, I think, the IBF. So Puerto Rico's been looking for a really strong champion to really, lift up the WBO and their belt.
Yep, a sophisticated one, a humble, disciplined one. Like.
Yeah, a discipline, right? Exactly. And they're looking, and every organization is looking for that. In Panama, the WBA headquarters, they be on some crazy shit, right? The WBA is just, they need to do something. They really do. You can't convince the fans that two people in every weight division can be simultaneously considered the champ of the division. That means that your belt is a joke. What keeps the belts prestigious is that the organizations have to honor their belt. The whole objective is to make sure that your belt has value. But when you have two belts at the exact same time and you're feeding it to the public, no, both of them are champions. How can you share a championship? What are you going to cut the Vince Lombardi trophy in half? You're going to saw the Stanley Cup right down the middle? Oh, you both win. If it doesn't work in any other sport, how are you feeding it to me? Why are you trying to make me think that Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney were simultaneously both champions in the same weight division, in the same year, in the same moment? When Gervonta Davis walked out at 135 pounds, what was he announced to? When he came in the ring, what did they announce him as? Oh, here's Gervonta Davis, 3-division world champ, which is bullshit at the time. Oh, 3-division world champion. He is the current WBA 135-pound champion, regular champion. Sometimes they'll leave the word out, regular. Sometimes they'll add it. But doesn't Devin Haney have all 4 belts? So how the fuck is Gervonta Davis getting credit for that? Then one of the things you'll see right before your eyes, just take time and take 2 fights out of Gervonta Davis's career. Go to the beginning. You don't have to watch the fight. I just want you to hear the announcement when they're announcing him in the ring. That's all I want you to check out. When they announced him in the Frank Martin fight, and when they announced him his previous fight before the Frank Martin fight. Before the Frank Martin fight, they announced Gervonta Davis as a 3-division world champion. They counted that belt against Mario Barrio, right? 3-division world champion. His very next fight against Frank the Ghost Martin, when they announced him in the ring, what did they announce him as? A 2-division world champion. How the hell did you lose a division? You don't lose a division in the sport. That means they were lying. That means until the night that he fought Frank the Ghost Martin, you know what Gervonta Davis technically was? A 1-division world champion. He only won 2 belts, real belts, at 130. That belt at 135, that wasn't a real belt. Devin Haney had all the belts. And the belt at 140, Mario Barrio never had the full status of the WBA title at 140. At the time that who was the champion at 140?
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor had all the belts. Thank you. That's right. So how the fuck can Josh Taylor be the champion? He had all 4 belts. And Mario Barrio what did he fight Tank for? Do you see what I'm saying? So the WBA is messed up. They're trying to give these guys credit in the record books and consider them, they want the record books and the Hall of Fame to acknowledge Tank Davis as a 3-division world champion because 2 of those divisions he had WBA world titles. And the WBA is signing off on this bullshit. That's why you can't find the WBA belt on Box Rec. No more. Because they washed their hands with their organization. Pretty soon, I don't know what the WBA is doing, man. They're the most prestigious belt in all of boxing is the WBA, and that's the sad thing. You got to understand, they're the original. That's the original belt. All these belts happen because of what they did. The people didn't like working with them. They spun off, and the birth of the WBC. And then spun off the birth of the IBF. You know, and et cetera, and et cetera. But they're the first. You would think they had their shit together, right? It's a sad case for an organization. I really tell you guys. I really tell you. But yo, thank you guys for checking in with me, man. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi, man. Thank you for the super chats and the support. Boxing Outcome, thank you for stopping by. My boy Frontline, everybody, Uncle Key, Armando, Bang Bang, everybody that checked in today. If I haven't said your name, you know you were here in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. And I will see you guys here tomorrow. We have a lot of boxing to talk about, a lot more things. So, fight fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been amazing. I always enjoy being your host. And see you guys tomorrow. Mr. Miyagi, have a good day.
See
Boxing
you later.
Outcome, have a great day. You guys be good
Peace.
to